Hey guys, thanks for joining me. This is Angie at Chicken Scratch. This is the card we're making today. This is another project featured in my Bella and Friends Make and Take class packet. All the details are over on my website. Free packet with placing an order of $50 or more using this host code. And you can find all the details over there. Okay, so here are the supplies. We've got Daffodil Delight, that is 5.5 by 4.25. Whisper White, 3.5 by 8.5. Another piece of Daffodil Delight that's 3.25 by 4, and a scallop square. Designer Series paper, 3 by 3.75. Some scraps white for the greeting, but the kit will include this. You can put it on the Stamparatus and stamp just for you if you prefer. And then the stitch square for Pretty Kitty. Okay, so let me show you how it opens. We've made this card before, a couple weeks ago. Okay, I'm going to get the Simply Scored scoring tool, and we're going to score this card. I'm going to place the Whisper White on the 8.5 inch side and score it at 4.25. And then fold on that score line. Okay, so now let's build this out. So what we're going to do is add the Designer Series paper. And you know what? This time, since I used the stripes on this one, I'm going to use the dots on this one just to change things up. And if you hear the wind outside, our weather is changing again, so hopefully you won't hear it. Trash cans are rolling around out there. Okay, so place this on top. Now what we're going to do is take the sheer ribbon, and you can use whatever adhesive you want to use. I'm just going to make my life a little bit easier, and I'm going to put one glue dot right there, if it will stick. There we go. And then one glue dot there. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm adding the ribbon like this. Now, I normally use Scotch tape. Believe it or not, I'm out. It's gone. I need to buy some more. So I'm just going to use a glue dot. Okay, so there's that part. Now we can go ahead and attach it to this layer, but let's go ahead and attach this layer to the Daffodil Delight first. Okay, so liquid glue. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to hold this for a second just to allow it to dry. And then now I'm going to take this layer and do the same thing. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and you know, in my attempt to challenge myself to use liquid glue, I'm actually finding that I prefer using it now, which is just so shocking. It just goes to show we're never too old to learn new tricks, right? Okay, I'm going to hold that down as well. Okay, now this little bow right here, if you're wondering, we're going to be tying another piece. So let's go ahead and do that. The bows to me look prettier when I make it this way, like when I attach it to the back side and then add the bow in the front. That way it's placed exactly where I want it. The tails are going in the direction I want it instead of on the side. So if you've ever struggled with ribbon like I have, you can just do it like this. Yeah, so we'll add that there in just a minute with a glue dot. So now let's get the Stamparatus out and let's go ahead and stamp. The people that are getting the kit, you're going to place this on your Stamparatus, or you're going to have extra cardstock too. Okay, so what I did was I have my square here. I traced it on some grid paper. For those of you that have not used the grid paper yet, this stuff is fabulous. Because on the back side, I had this is the 4th card you're going to see. Yeah, this is the, I believe, 3rd card. Don't quote me on the number of cards or which card number they are, because I filmed these out of order. You'll see my nails even change colors because I don't want to know what order I put them in. So anyway, I'm going to place this square right where I place that. And you can use this grid paper over and over, because let's say you have another shape like a circle that you want to use over here. So you can go around and around on this. You don't have to just keep putting a new sheet down. Okay, so I'm going to take my Memento ink and ink up this pretty kitty. This image is just so cute. I cannot believe I waited till this year to use Pretty Kitty. I'm going to kick myself if it retires. It's so cute. Ugh. Okay, so now we're done with that. Bring all this back in here. So now we're going to color her with some Stampin' Blend markers. I'm using the light and the dark of the crumb cake, the light rich raspberry, the light granny apple green, and the light and the dark of the daffodil delight. Okay, so let's start. Oh, and the light smoky slate and the color lifter. And here are those two. This is a lot of coloring, right? If it gets too long, I'll fast forward it, okay? So I'm going to start with the flower pot. And, you know, when I was first creating this card, I was like, well, flower pots are usually terracotta, which I think might be one of the new colors we're getting. We'll talk about that later. I have gray flower pots outside. In fact, I have all sorts of colors. So, yeah, flower pots don't have to be terracotta. Clay, I guess I should say, right? Now we're done with the light smoky slate. Now let's take the dark crumb cake. And if you'll notice, I just kind of did around her ears. Like I just wanted to make her ears like pop a little. You know, I've had a lot of cats over the years before I met my husband. He's allergic. So is my son. But I've had all colors of kitty cats. So, yeah. Let's add a little dark to its tail, too. Okay, now light crumb cake. I just noticed there's one other marker that I didn't list. We'll just switch it up. Okay, so now I'm going to take the light rich raspberry, and I'm actually going to color her nose that color. I think I probably used light Flirty Flamingo. So I'm going to color these little Dumaflachis with rich raspberry. Over here too. I'm done with that color. And then I'm going to take the dark daffodil. And I'm going to color this flower. This was the card that took me the longest to create. The other 3 cards just kind of happened instantly. I did not realize that I have a hard time working with the color yellow. So, yeah, I learned that about myself. You can see I'm making some changes. Uh-oh, I forgot to color the rest of his tail. That's okay, we can get that back. So this is light Daffodil Delight. After I made my sample, I realized I only had the dark on one flower, so I added it to this one as well. Let me get that light crumb cake back. Now light Granny Apple Green. You could use the Old Olive light if you want. I just really like this color. Although Old Olive has been one of my favorites. Okay. Now let's just take the color lifter and just lift out a little bit of color in the very center of the flower pot. Isn't that so cute? Her little paws. Okay, so let's turn this over and add some liquid glue. Looks like I got ink on there somehow. Okay, now I'm going to stamp the greeting. So this is in the Bella and Friends stamp set, whereas the kitty cat is in the Pretty Kitty. I'm going to cut this out with the Classic Label Punch. Okay, now I'm going to take a Post-it note and I'm going to make this image shorter, okay? So I'm just going to attach it like that and then line it back up. And then you just have to peel off that. And then we're going to add it right about there. So we can go ahead and add this to the card front. Okay, let's make sure we place it on the right direction. See, I almost put it on there upside down. So she's going to go right in the center. And I'm just going to use a couple glue dots, or a couple dimensionals, and place it top and bottom so that it goes over the ribbon. And then this is going to get added. You can use whatever adhesive you want, your favorite. You just want to add adhesive on the left side though. I don't know how I got ink on that card. Oh well. So we're going to hold this for just a second. And now the last step is we're going to take our ribbon and add it right there. And I can tell that I need to trim the ends of it a little bit, so I'll go ahead and do that before I attach it. Sometimes if I try to trim it when I've already attached it, I end up untying the bow. Okay, so what I was saying is we're going to add this ribbon with a glue dot. So I'm just going to pick up a glue dot from here, and I think I already have it. I had a little accident there. My glue dropped in the floor. Okay, so goes right there. Okay, so there is the next card. Isn't it cute? And you could use any of the colors. Again, I think I might actually like the polka dots better than the stripes. I don't know. They're both cute. Don't forget, free inspiration sheet over on my website that has all the measurements. And don't forget about the class packet in case you're interested. Have a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye. What in the world is on my thumb?